to be very competitive in this in a way because he doesn't throw reckless punches and too many punches where he gives Inoue a lesser chance to catch him.
Well, he can be hurt, he can be put down, and MJ's a big puncher. I don't think you can judge much off of the performance of last week from MJ because it was sort of cautious, you know, and he was just going in there to get the win.
It's just another tough fight.
Boxing insiders strongly support Murodjon Akhmadaliev as a real threat to Naoya Inoue. Teddy Atlas pointed out that MJ isn't just powerful, but also disciplined and intelligent, never wasting punches. Instead of swinging wildly, he places each shot carefully, making it much tougher for Inoue to find gaps. His left-handed stance, solid basics, and maturity in the ring give him a genuine chance to surprise Inoue. Analysts warn that if Inoue takes him lightly, Akhmadaliev's skill, speed, and calm approach could be the exact recipe to give the Japanese champion one of the hardest fights of his career.
Delivers it again very accurately, flawlessly. He is a serious guy. He's not the busiest guy in the world, but that makes him a problem too. I kind of laughed. One of the commentators, I don't know who the guy was, but the blow-by-blow guy, I had to laugh when he said, "Oh, hey, this will never work against Inoue." What are you talking about? He's got to throw more punches for you to give him a chance against Inoue? Where did you get your boxing diploma from? What school was that? I'd like to know. So he's going to have a better chance, in your estimation, to beat Inoue because he should be throwing a lot more punches. He's a southpaw. He's a good puncher. He doesn't waste anything. He's very deliberate in his approach. He slowly, takes the air out of the room by carefully putting pressure on. He's not reckless. He's got good legs. He controls range really well, going in and out, changing range. That helps him defensively. It helps him offensively. He does that like Lomachenko did it. Not as good as Lomachenko. I don't know if anybody does legs as good as Lomachenko at his best did. And Lomachenko was better because he not only went in and out, he went to the sides. He went in, out, side, in. I mean, he was a magician with his legs. He was a ballet artist with his legs. But MJ uses them well. He doesn't waste anything. As my son said, got good eyes. He places punches really accurately, especially to the body.
Joel Diaz stresses that Murodjon Akhmadaliev truly shines in the super bantamweight class. As a southpaw, he uses natural angles and tricky movement that frustrate orthodox opponents. Diaz praised MJ's rare mix of speed and power, explaining that his punches land with sharp accuracy and real effect, not just brute strength. On top of that, his footwork helps him control distance, slip away from danger, and create chances from awkward positions. Diaz insists facing Akhmadaliev will never be an easy task. His stance, smart pressure, and athletic ability force even top fighters to prepare carefully. Against Naoya Inoue, these tools could turn what some expect as one-sided into one of the toughest nights of Inoue's career.
Joel, we just talked about you did save Cinco de Mayo boxing. Congratulations. Now that you know Inoue from Cardenas, you have MJ, who's next. Is that going to be here or is it going to be Tokyo? Do you know?
Absolutely.
I think it's more electric here because we can go. But now,
I wish it was here.
I know. With what you learned and what Cardenas learned, is it going to be easier to be able to train MJ, or do you think Inoue is going to come in differently?
Well, it's a different style. It's a different fighter. Cardenas is a right-hander.
Location.
MJ and lefty. Their both styles are different.
Thank you so much.
I look just forward another to tough fight for either one. I mean, MJ is tough. He's strong. I mean, he has great timing. He has better footwork. Cardenas, don't get me wrong. Cardenas is very, very smart with his defense. On avoiding getting hit. But I mean, I don't think it's gonna be easy for either.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be an easy task. Even though I share the ring with Inoue already, it's not, because Inoue is very smart. He's very athletic, and I mean his timing, his volume. He's overwhelming.
Experts warn that if Naoya Inoue overlooks Murodjon Akhmadaliev and treats him as an easy win, it could be the biggest mistake of his career. The issue isn't Inoue's ability, his skills are clear, but rather his attitude and preparation. Analysts highlighted one big edge. Akhmadaliev is trained by Joel Diaz. That background gives Diaz's team valuable knowledge of Inoue's habits, strengths, and weaknesses, plus how to exploit them. Many argue this shared history could play a huge role in the fight. Inoue must stay focused, avoid arrogance, and see MJ as a serious, fully prepared rival, or risk paying a heavy price.
Yeah, and he's a southpaw. He's very selective with what he throws. And when he throws, it's accurate. It's at the right place, at the right time, in the right position. He's not throwing, like you say, more punches where he might throw from too far away or too many in one spot, where Inoue, who's great at timing guys, would time him in between a fourth punch. Inoue won't have that opportunity because this guy is selective. He is smart. He is calculating. That's what gives him a chance. That's the opposite of what whoever he was. The opposite. That's what gives him a chance for me. Where he gives Inoue a lesser chance to catch him as he's throwing those punches.
Teddy Atlas praised Murodjon Akhmadaliev as one of the sharpest and strongest fighters in the division. He explained that MJ never wastes energy or throws carelessly. Instead, he measures every punch for maximum effect. Atlas believes this disciplined style is what makes him so dangerous against Naoya Inoue. By avoiding wild exchanges and sticking to accuracy, Akhmadaliev lowers the chance of getting caught and raises his chances of pulling off a major upset.
Inoue is straight ducking MJ Akhmadaliev. He's been ordered to fight him twice, right? He's had 2 gimme fights now instead of fighting Akhmadaliev. And now, well, tomorrow, no, Monday, the WBA will write to Naoya Inoue and they will say, enough's enough. You have to fight Akhmadaliev next, or you will be stripped of your WBA world title. He has ducked Akhmadaliev twice after an order. Now he's getting ordered for a 3rd time, and he will give up his right as undisputed champion rather than make a mandatory defense against Akhmadaliev. What? Tell me a better fight at 122 than Inoue against Akhmadaliev. It doesn't exist. So you're ducking the best fight in the division. And I can't understand it. Like, and I don't even think it's just coming from the team. They don't like the fight.
Eddie Hearn stirred discussion in boxing when he suggested Naoya Inoue had avoided a showdown with Murodjon Akhmadaliev. According to Hearn, Inoue was told Akhmadaliev was the most complete and dangerous fighter at 122 pounds, yet the fight never happened until now. The promoter argued MJ has long been the most avoided boxer in the division, a high-risk, low-reward opponent for the champions on top. By framing it as Inoue purposely sidestepping the challenge, Hearn pushed the idea that this clash was long overdue. His words raised Akhmadaliev's profile, painting him as the fighter other stars didn't want to face.
Akhmadaliev, who is Akhmadaliev? I know he's very seasoned and he's a brilliant fighter and very dangerous, but who is he?
At this stage of Naoya Inoue's career, exactly that question, Gareth. Who is he?
Naoya Inoue is number 2 pound for pound in the world,
mate,
isn't he? Or 2 or 3.
For the people that may not know Naoya Inoue, he's in the top 3 pound for pound. He's a 4-weight, 4-division world champion, 2-weight, 2-division, undisputed champion. Naoya Inoue, I'll tell you where he goes next. He's been light fly, super fly, bantam, super bantam. You know, he's gone through the divisions, winning world titles and getting undisputed, etc. Where does he go next? He moves up. He's just signed with Riyadh season.
Yeah.
The fight was there. It was a brilliant performance against Kim. Just showed his class. Absolutely dominated and absolutely
Don't call him on, I say. Because Kim made a massive mistake,
yeah, Kim
he?
called him on, and the body shot was crippling, and then he landed a big right hand. The fight was over, but it was calculated. It was meticulous in that finish. It was brilliant.
This guy is a modern great. He's called a monster because I think it's 26 knockouts from 29 fights now. He is so destructive. He's come up through the weight divisions, as you say, 4 weight divisions, not just winning world titles, but dominating the best in the divisions. He's stepping up to a 5th weight division, he's got the credence and the belief of Turki Al-Shaikh now, who wants him to fight. Who did he mention? Nick Ball. And this is a fight we've been pushing for. I've been talking about it for a year. Stylistically, Ball is a squat, powerful pocket rocket who comes at you all night.
Eddie Hearn stirred discussion in boxing when he suggested Naoya Inoue had avoided a showdown with Murodjon Akhmadaliev. According to Hearn, Inoue was told Akhmadaliev was the most complete and dangerous fighter at 122 pounds, yet the fight never happened until now. The promoter argued MJ has long been the most avoided boxer in the division, a high-risk, low-reward opponent for the champions on top. By framing it as Inoue purposely sidestepping the challenge, Hearn pushed the idea that this clash was long overdue. His words raised Akhmadaliev's profile, painting him as the fighter other stars didn't want to face.
You just mentioned earlier MJ had that fight in Mexico. It's looking like a state-based kind of fight. We've heard that the fight with Inoue is official. Is it confirmed?
Well, they said it is. I don't know. I mean, they already announced it. They said it's September 14th. So.
And now we see MJ and Ramon, good buddies. There's no animosity there. Yeah. They're always motivating each other. Half the time they don't talk really about common opponents. They're just they're just treating the shit the way they say it. What has MJ said about that fight, and how does he feel about his chances?
Look, you're talking about two different fighters. Ramon is totally different from MJ. MJ is a bigger, solid, more solid fighter with more technique. He was an Olympian, remember? MJ has fought every style around the world because he was an Olympian. He was a silver medalist, bronze medalist, whatever. He's fought the best of the best in the world. That's why MJ has a better chance than Ramon. The only difference between us and MJ is the language barrier. To talk to him the way I could talk to a Mexican fighter that grew up with me, to motivate him in my language is different than just saying davai, the like work, No, it's different. So that's the only issue, the only factor that we're gonna have to work around. But I just think that MJ, it's faster. He is really hard as well. His timing and his experience.
Okay. And of course, MJ, again, Ramon, you guys have one of the deepest stables in boxing. Obviously, the boys have talked about it. If one of them gets a title, they'll serve it up.
No, they talked before. It's like, for example, they said before the fight, Ramon said it. If I win this fight, if I beat Inoue, I will not fight MJ. I will not fight a stableman. He's my friend. He's my team. He says we would talk about it if it's beneficial for both.
Trainer Joel Diaz added more perspective by praising Akhmadaliev's range and experience. Diaz explained MJ is bigger and more complete than Ramon Cardenas, the boxer who previously gave Inoue a tough night and even claimed a win. He argued that if Cardenas could cause problems, then Akhmadaliev, stronger, quicker, and more seasoned, would be an even tougher test. Diaz pointed out MJ has fought every kind of opponent: pressure fighters, counter-punchers, slick movers, and heavy punchers. This variety sharpened his adaptability and gave him confidence to adjust in any situation. Diaz called him one of the best fighters today, not only for his physical tools, but also for his smart ring IQ. For Inoue, who relies on timing and accuracy, facing someone with such depth and experience would be a unique challenge. The message was clear: Akhmadaliev isn't just another contender, but a full package ready to truly test the pound-for-pound star.
MJ Akhmadaliev as well gets that win and sets up with an absolute mega fight with Naoya Inoue in September as well.
Yeah, 100%. Look, he was very cautious in there. As you can imagine, he's got a lot riding on it. 14 weeks until the Inoue fight. I think September 15th is the date for that in Japan. A fight he's waited a long time for, been very patient for, and I think been more than, given more than enough time for Inoue to do other things he's wanted to do. But yeah, he finally gets his opportunity to become undisputed. He was unlucky in that fight against Tapales a few years ago now to lose his belts, and would have got the Inoue shot a lot sooner. I think we saw in the last Inoue fight, he can be vulnerable, he can be hurt, he can be put down, and MJ's a big puncher. I don't think you can judge much off of the performance of last week from MJ, because it was sort of cautious, you know, and he was just going in there to get the win, get some rounds ahead of the biggest fight of his career. It's going to be a spectacular occasion come